What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the most recent physique update from Marcelo aka Hosstile from Brazil. 6 weeks out of his classic Olympia debut. So just like we did not expect Orskalashensky to switch over from classic into the men's open, the same way nobody expected Hosstile to switch from men's open into classic, because it just seemed kind of impossible for him to make the weight cutoff for classic. But as per him, getting off all the drugs, all the PEDs, all the gear, that did allow him to come down. And honestly, it was kind of shocking to see him make the weight cutoff, and that too with some room to spare. So here he is now, looking in a very solid condition and also staying very close to the striking range of his weight cap. So making the weight cutoff, that won't be a problem for him at all, because first of all, he has now already done that once, and the fact that he had about 5 more pounds to play around with before he hit his weight cap, then that is plenty of muscle for this upcoming Mr. Olympia at the very least. And the man is already looking very skinny. Now that being said, Hosstile isn't one of those guys who has the structure to be top 10 at the Olympia level in classic physique. But the goal for 2025 that has already been achieved, and that was getting to that Mr. Olympia stage, getting his first ever Olympia qualification. Now obviously the physique that he presented at the Big Man Weekend last year when he was still in the men's open, that was definitely a better physique, a more complete physique, as he wasn't sucking down to make the weight. But the fact is he wasn't winning any shows in a bigger division. So the Olympia package from Hosstile, that is 100% gonna be improved, and he's possibly gonna come in a bit more fuller and a bit more muscular compared to what we saw at Portugal Pro, because he had roughly 5 to 7 more pounds that he can put on his frame before he maxes out his weight cap based on the physique that he presented at the Portugal Pro this year, the show that he won. So what are your expectations from Hosstile? Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. Next up, we have a 2 weeks old physique update from Sergio Oliva Jr. So is this going to be another great comeback story where an IFBB pro with a great family history and a name to live up to, one of the greatest bodybuilder that we saw in this sport, his father Sergio Oliva. So are we about to see a comeback to the Olympia stage after a gap of 8 long years? Well, the man is looking pretty damn awesome right now, a little less than 2 weeks out of his next show, which is gonna be Italy Pro. But it's a very simple fact at this point that all these guys, all these pro bodybuilders, they look very awesome standing on their own. And now you also cannot ignore the fact that the age factor, that is also gonna come into play when it comes to Sergio Oliva Jr. Although we haven't seen any signs of his legs dropping size, in fact, they looked pretty damn impressive, the best they have ever looked in his last show. And that was FIBA Germany, where he competed against Andrew Jagd and Sazan Hirati. So Sergio, without any shadow of a doubt, is gonna be the heaviest guy on this upcoming Italy Pro stage in the men's open. And yes, I know we have guys like Quinton there, but Sergio is a very big guy with that awesome shoulder width, and he also takes up a lot of space on the stage. He just has been unable to nail his conditioning, and that is something that he has worked on big time, especially this year. And the weakness that we saw on him, like the chest and his back, they should be considerably improved compared to FIBA Germany. Now in case they're not, then he won't be a contender to win this title. Now, it's gonna be interesting to see how much of that superior muscle maturity that Sergio has over all of these guys who are gonna be there, how much difference does that make in Sergio's favor? So if you're wondering what are his own expectations coming into this show, well, nothing but first place. And this is undoubtedly a relatively easier lineup compared to what we saw at FIBA Germany or the shows afterwards, like the Texas Pro and Tampa Pro and Dubai Pro show. So let me know what you guys think. Can Sergio Oliva Jr. win this show and qualify for the Olympia after 8 long years? Next up, we have a 46 days out physique update from one of the biggest rising stars of this entire year, Jordan Hutchinson, the Tampa Pro and Texas Pro champion, coming into his first ever Mr. Olympia. So if people had any doubts about him and his ability to comprehensively win a show after Tampa Pro, well, the man cleared all those doubts by just slamming the door shut on the whole competition at Texas Pro. So a win with perfect scores for Jordan Hutchinson, that must have been so motivating for him, considering the fact that these were his first pro wins. Cause he is one of those very few guys who were able to put on 10 pounds of solid muscle in just 1 year without compromising his aesthetics or his waistline. And that 10 pounds difference, that was very apparent on the stage, and that becomes even more clear when we look at these transformation pictures. So this guy can be super dangerous, considering he is just 29 years old and he is already Olympia qualified. Plus, he has the ability to get really hard and come in very shredded, front to back, top to bottom. While at this point I do not agree that he can beat guys like Brendan Carey and William Bonac, which he thinks he can. But with the way his physique is continuously improving, and improving at such a fast pace, he can be a solid top 6 guy in the future. So the question right now is that, how high can he place at his Olympia debut? Can he beat guys like Regan, Rafael Brandao and Sazan Herati? So the one guy that really gave Jordan a tough time, especially from the side and the back shots, that was Joe the Machine, aka Joseph Palacios. And just imagine Jordan attaining more density and more muscle maturity in those shots. He's gonna become so much more dangerous, especially to all the guys in that second call out. So a good comparison at this year's Mr. Olympia, that in my opinion is gonna be Jordan versus Regan Grimes. Next up, we have an update from the future 212 Olympia champion, Nihat, provided that he stays in the 212. And I know that's a big statement, but considering his age and the way the man has been progressing 1 year after another, unless he gets injured or develops a health concern, there is nothing stopping him from winning the 212 Olympia title after Keon Pearson. And of course, we are assuming that Keon is gonna switch over to the men's open, if not next year, maybe the year afterwards. So the sheer quality and density on this kid, that is so unbelievable, because some pros, they don't have that kind of look, even after years and years of training and working out. And he has already attained that at such a young age of 22. So Dubai Pro this year, that was just a glimpse of what to expect from Nihat at his Olympia debut in 6 weeks. So the fact that he's able to grow on the least amount of dosages, that is pure genetics right there. So before Nihat, the last very well-known guy, a bodybuilding legend who had such tremendous overall development at a very young age, that was none other than Lee Priest. So Patrick Tuor is an awesome coach, surely one of the best out there, and he's gonna make sure that Nihat continues to grow, but at the same time, he maintains that very small waistline and all of his aesthetics. Now so far they have done an awesome job. They did beat Angel Calderon, who is the 3rd best bodybuilder in the 212. So it will be very surprising to see if Nihat doesn't make a top 3 at his Olympia debut this year. So is James Hollingshead secretly prepping for a show in the near future? The reason I'm saying that is why else would he be this lean at this point of the year unless he has got a show in mind? So that right there is a solid a few weeks out look from James Hollingshead. And maybe he doesn't want to announce it because he doesn't want that unwanted attention and pressure on him, especially from the social media. So we are just speculating here. But if he is genuinely prepping for a show, that can be a very nice strategy by him and his coach if he picks a show more strategically, so that first of all, he can get back to that winning streak, because it has been 3 years since the last time he won a show, and he just picked way too difficult shows earlier this year, like the Arnold and Detroit Pro. And second of all, so that he can get his Olympia qualification and have an entire year to focus on improving his weak areas. Now James does have some structural limitations, but condition-wise, we haven't seen him bring his best since, I'm gonna say, 2020, and that was the best year of his pro career, where he won 2 shows back to back. So what do you guys think? What does the condition indicate on him right now? a last minute entry, maybe in one of these upcoming European shows, or maybe in one of the shows in the post-Olympia tour. Let me know what you guys think. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.